Hi, I'm Brenda Reese, forgiveness coach. Are you hiding behind the busy? I know I have. We all are busy these days, it seems, and I always am. Why? And when we go to stop being busy, that seems to be harder than anything else. It's like an addiction. It's harder actually for me to stop the busy than it was for me to stop drinking. That's crazy. When we meet each other today, we say, hey, how's it going? I'm busy, crazy busy. You crazy busy. So we get validated. And, it's crazy actually that we actually do this, that we validate that. And I remember talking with a friend once about my busyness, and he actually said to me, oh, wow, well, really? So what do you got going on? It's like, oh, well, okay, I've got to go here and I've got to go there, and then I've got to make a newsletter, and then, I've got to go to the grocery store, and I've got to go pick up my husband, and then we've got to get the grandkids, and then we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And, I remember him like going, oh, wow, really? Oh, so that sounds like a really full day. Have fun. And I'm like, what? Wait a minute, didn't you hear me? Didn't you hear how busy I was? You're not validating me. You're not saying, oh, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, yeah, you got a lot going. No, nothing like that. It's like, hey, what? So obviously, he didn't understand that, I have a lot going on. He didn't understand that I wear my busyness like a badge of honor. And he was not validating me. And so, what I found as I was looking around for busyness, as I've looked at this for a couple years, and the busyness part, the American Psychological Association does these stress studies, and they have found, which I thought was so funny. So they have found the number one problem with not reducing stress is being too busy. Yeah, too busy, nothing else. It's being too busy. And so, I was reading a quote that I really liked by a doctor, Dr. Susan Coven, and it was published in a newspaper. And I want to read this quote to you. In the past few years, I've observed an epidemic of sorts. Patient after patient suffering from the same condition. The symptoms are, fatigue, irritability, insomnia, anxiety, headaches, heartburn, bowel disturbances, back pain, and weight gain. There are no blood tests or x-ray diagnostic of this condition, and yet it's easy to recognize. The condition is excessive busyness. Oh, dear God. Not stress, busyness. And, the busyness is like out of control. Have you noticed that? But it's self-created stress. And we create stress, we create worry where it doesn't need to exist. We create urgency. We push ourselves, we push our kids, we push spouses. It's like, there's nothing earth-shattering happening, but we create this. And we create it because of this crazy thing in our head. That's we gotta go. We manufacture this urgency. And the other thing is, it's not real. And even when it is real, it's self-created due to a packed schedule that I've done. Crazy. So why does this happen? Why do we do this to ourselves? Because we are afraid. That's right. We're afraid of ourselves. And, if you've noticed in America that we value the busyness, right? We value the stress. We value the production. And it's like one of the first things that people ask you is like, what do you do? What do you do? Not who are you? And instead of just saying, well, gosh, I'm a spiritual being, or I love to hike and I love to share with times with my family. No, it's what do you do? And the implication of if not being busy is it's almost like shame, because if we feel like we aren't being busy, then it's like I'm somehow less than, and that I'm not worthy if I'm not busy doing something. That's what's kept me in the busy, is the shame. And so we fill our lives and our calendars and our Facebook posts with busyness to just avoid being. And so when we do this, we miss out on the peace and the beauty that is us, and also the peace and the beauty that's in other people. So let's stop defining ourselves, shall we? And by doing, and start defining ourselves by being. and measure time by the experience, the fullness of being with other people instead of the clock on the wall. And really look at our lives as not being busy, but just being full. We have full lives when we take control of them. Let me know your comments. Let me know your experience with busy.